I am Henry Becker. I'm one of the resident technical facilitators from Decentralization Secretariat. Currently, I'm responsible for Kenema City Council and Kenema District Council.
And if I understood you correctly yesterday, you weren't in the previous workshops, right? This is the first time that you've been exposed to the resolutions in this and the localization process as well as the guidelines, correct?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. How so far, seeing that you weren't involved before and you're kind of jumping in the middle of the process, the first question I guess I would have is, have you been able to, follow the discussions? Yesterday it was a lot of recapping on the resolutions, on CILNAP, on development planning, just kind of all thrown at you. Was that okay, or do you think that it should have been more lengthy sessions with going more into detail about the contents of CILNAP and the resolutions?
Yes, you are right. You are actually right to mention that I came in the middle, that guidelines have been prepared, and I suppose that some engagements have been made before this. But as a matter of fact, I was not really too shocked, because before I came, I had done some background reading. Because from the office, the guidelines that I met here, I obtained a copy from the office. I was able to talk to Bojuwisi, one of the consultants that worked with you. I was able to talk to Amara. So they were able to give me some background. And the issues, even though I was not too familiar with the details of the Resolution 1325, Resolution 1820, but basically I knew what they were targeting, to protect women, children, let them be heard, for them to participate. They too are very relevant in terms of development. All of these issues are familiar issues. Because in council work, that is what it's supposed to be like. And for some time now, I've been working in both city council for over 3 years. I've been very close to working with the social welfare department, and working with bringing some of the activities up for the development plans. Some of these issues have actually been very familiar issues to me. Yeah. So as much as some aspects were new, but I think I was comfortable.
Yeah. Do you think that it'll be useful for the councils to also institutionalize some of the processes and the integration of issues of women, peace and security, and specifically the Sierra Leone National Action Plan into the development planning processes?
I think the guidelines, to a very large extent, makes it very easy for councils. It is very reader-friendly, and it tries as best as possible to present some kind of refresher for council work. Because what I see in the guidelines, I see a very terse description of what the budget, the review of the development plan process should look like. It's familiar, but it refreshes it greatly. It gives you the stages that you can follow. But what is very much impressive that I saw is that for the action plan, the resolution 1325, resolution 1820, they were summarized in such a way that we have 5 pillars, and for each of these pillars, there are frameworks that you can follow. So, for instance, if a council cannot at one point handle all of the 5 pillars, a council can decide to say, okay, I can handle 2 at a time, and in the subsequent years, I'll be able to improve on them. So I think it's clear. It's not a bulky document. It's not anything to scare up. If you want to address a particular pillar, I think the guidelines helps you to actually focus, that these are the focus areas you should concentrate on.
Great. Can you talk a little bit more about that and your thinking yesterday when you brought up the issue of sustainability and that being something that everyone really should take to heart?
You're right. Because one issue that bring in scare in councils whenever you talk about development issues, as you noticed through the workshop, is that mostly a good number of us think some of the issues have financial implications. No, not necessarily. For instance, a council can decide that for us, since CINAP is not yet, there isn't much awareness about CINAP in our community. For us, in this particular quarter, we are going to embark on awareness raising. We are in councils, each councils now all over this country, they have what they call radio programs every week or fortnightly. You can slot in a schedule with the gender officer or the social welfare officer, whoever is there. Give him or her airtime to talk about SINA. You can do that over a period. And once the interest is being built up, you're starting to get phone-in programs from listeners here and there, women beginning to raise concern, children beginning to raise concern. Some of those issues they raise during the program, you jot them down. Then back in your councils, you begin to identify activities now that, okay, from this particular ward, from this section, from this, I think there's their concern amongst the women about this. I think we should make this an activity now in our development plan. You implement that one or two of it over a period. You see how best that is evaluated and you get your findings. Then you can take the next step about the concerns. That is what I actually meant about sustainability. It's not grabbing all of it at the same time and you will not be able to implement anything.
Thank you so much.